Hello, this is Asa Leveaux, founder of Genius Academy and your host the show is Genius Entrepreneur with Asa Leveaux. Thank you. This is episode 1. I say again, this is episode 1 of Genius Entrepreneur. The whole purpose of the Genius Entrepreneur is to make sure that while entrepreneurs are on their entrepreneurial journey, they are loved, they are accepted, they are appreciated, and, a little bit of juiciness is entered into their lives. So this is the very first one. It's going to take place every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock a.m. right here. 10 o'clock a.m. right here. So the very first, what's going on? So I see some people chiming in already. Hello, Mr. Birch. Nice to see you on. So there, if you coming on, invite others. This is something that you can share. Plus, you'll be able to enter into the giveaway. I asked some people within the group, and if you want to know what group I'm talking about, it's a group for geniuses, entrepreneur geniuses. And you can go there by going to www.geniuscafe.co. I say again, geniuscafe.co. That's where you can actually go to get the information that I'll be talking about later on today. But also, I asked in the group, how many people actually like Starbucks? Like, is that a thing? And I say that because I'm not a very big coffee drinker. But this isn't, I say again, this is not about me. This is about entrepreneurs. This is about you. So I asked how many people were actually liking Starbucks, and they said, I do. I drink this, I drink this. Somebody even said they drink something with cotton candy in it. And I was like, oh, okay, cotton candy. So with that being said, I'm giving away a Starbucks gift card. So if you would like to be in that giveaway and you're watching this live, so the only way to actually benefit from the actual giveaway is to watch these episodes live, and you do two things. The first thing is you share it. The second thing, and okay, hold on. Why would you share this? Why in the whole hell would you share this episode, this Genius Entrepreneur episode on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time? The reason why, because there are other people that are dealing with things and you could help them. It may not be something that you do a lot, but they would definitely benefit from you doing that. So that's why you would take action on that. And the second thing besides sharing is you would actually comment with a GIF. Or my mama say a GIF. Yes, my mama says a GIF, but it's a GIF. What is a GIF? You know how you can make a comment, but instead of a picture or an avatar or an emoticon, it'll actually be like a short little video clip, like maybe 3 seconds. That's a GIF. So, but your GIF would be in response to what the topic is. So what is the topic for our very, 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 very first Genius Entrepreneur episode? Well, the topic is entrepreneur depression. Yes. What in the whole hell made me pick entrepreneur depression as the very first topic for the Genius Entrepreneur broadcast? I know what that feels like. I am very aware of what that means. To be an entrepreneur who is depressed, and the dichotomy of that, like people feel like you're an entrepreneur, you're making money, you're making connections, you're in publications, you're speaking in front of people, you're getting clients, you have customers, all of those things, and it still can be a gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching thing to have. And so those are the two things. That's how you can enter into the contest for the Starbucks gift card. And the Starbucks gift card, like, I know how to send it electronically. I don't have to use your address. So that's the beautiful thing about that. But that's, you'll actually get the information. Someone said I sounded far away. Okay. I think that's it. I think we're good. How about now? Sharon, do we still sound far away? Sharon, let me know if you still sound far away. So we just had a whole issue. And I'm not gonna, she said it's low. Okay, how about this? Let me see if this works. All right, so please let me know if you can hear this. Please let me know if you can hear. Because I do not want to go any further if you say that you cannot hear me. Someone let me. Okay, yes. She says she can hear. That's amazing. All right. So, back to what I was getting to. So if you want to be in that contest, what you would do is, 1, you would share, and 2, you would comment with a GIF that is in alignment with the title for today. And the subject for today, or the topic for today, is entrepreneur depression. So if you are an entrepreneur, or if you've ever felt depressed, what I'm needing you to do is go ahead and let me know. If you are an entrepreneur, and 2, if you have ever been depressed. If you are an entrepreneur that has ever been depressed, please let me know. Please let me know. So as you are doing that, I want to do my best to explain, why do I not have a shirt on? Why in the world do I not have a shirt on? Asa, there are certain things about business that you need to be mindful of. There are certain things in business that are just standard, and you need to understand that if you don't do things the right way, Asa, people really aren't going to understand what you're doing. And I say that's bullshit. I say that's bullshit. And here's why. So the reason why I do not have a shirt on for this particular episode is because I had a run this morning, and of course I showered. And there's something therapeutic and mentally stimulating about water, like the sound of water to me. It may be that for other people. And something that I noticed realized was that feeling of depression for entrepreneurs. A lot of times the feeling of depression for entrepreneurs feels like you are totally exposed, and this thing around shame. And being exposed and feeling shame has everything that's rooted within comparison. And you may have heard me say this before, but comparison is the thief of all joy. Comparison is the thief of all joy. I'm going to say it a few more times. Comparison is the thief of all joy. I'm going to say it again while looking at you. Comparison is the thief of all joy. The moment that you think that everything is great, you look at somebody else and you think to yourself, oh, I must not be great because they're great. And comparison allows no way for collaboration and no way for celebration, the celebration of others while you celebrate yourself. All right? So please remember to share. So the thing about entrepreneur depression that I've had to deal with, or that I've not had to deal with, but have dealt with, not only did it come from a place of competition, not only did it come from a place of comparison, but it also made me feel like no one else understood what I was going through based on the the adopted perception of other people. So because I've done books, and because I've spoken, and because I've been on television, and because of this, and because of this, and because of this, I now feel that somebody else's perspective of me is one in which I have to now wrap myself into. I now have to wrap myself into that particular perspective and not being true to who I am at that time. And at that time, shit just sucks. At that time, like literally at that time, shit really, 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 can I just say really one more time? Yeah, shit just really, really, really sucks. And when you allow yourself to be put in a place that other people have placed you in, that's just not being true. And so that's what it felt like for me. On the end where I can hide it, so there's an end that I can hide it. Entrepreneur depression, hiding it looks like me not getting out of bed, but me posting from bed, but not being able to get up, or choosing not to get up, and just being in this place that tastes like pennies and sounds like the absence of all sound and looks like the desert. Like it just, the perception of that moment is just void of life, void of compassion, void of divinity. So that's on the end that I know that entrepreneurs can actually hide it. On another level where it gets to the point that you're not able to is oftentimes when you're lashing out online, you're lashing out and you're doing a lot of blaming, or you're doing a lot of self-sabotage. And another way is something that I've dealt with is having suicidal thoughts. Like, you know what, maybe, just maybe, this isn't for me. The life that I've talked about so much, the life that I thought I was going to have, the life that I've allowed other people to leave me for, maybe just won't work for me at all. And so maybe I need to leave. So yeah, that's what another end of depression could look like. And if this is you, and if that's something that you can identify with, and you've lived that story, please let people know that they're not alone. Let me know that I'm not alone. Raise your hand like you're not alone. So Lola, thank you, Lola, for saying, that you've been there. And it really does, it just more than sucks. It's a feeling that is all encompassing and becomes the totality of where you are in that moment. And I would want to make sure that there's a difference between when you talk about depression. So you have a depression. Depression is more about something that happened on the outside. Thank you, Mr. Grease, for letting people know that they're not alone as well. So depression is something that's on the outside. And then there's something called the dark night of the soul. So depression, so when you go to a therapist, basically just an everyday therapist, they're going to ask you things like, what caused this? So did you go through a breakup? Is there an issue with someone that you love? They're going to ask you all of these things that, and a lot of times, has an outside dynamic to what happened, okay? And so that's why they ask, did a relationship just end? Did someone just ascend or transition or pass away? I use ascend, or something of that nature. That's depression. And then there's something called the dark night of the soul. My mother actually introduced me to this concept. And the dark night of the soul is when you are having this internal turmoil around how you see yourself. So when you look into the mirror, you are seeing bullshit but the bullshit that you're seeing is the bullshit that you created. And that no longer serves you. And so then you almost collapse within yourself. It's almost like you spontaneous combust from the inside. Like literally, well, that's what spontaneous combustion is. It's not heat on the outside going in, it's heat on the inside going out, but being contained. And so that's what that is like. And I've been through both. I know what it's like to be in a long-term marriage and have that end, and then witness the public shaming of being a divorced person. I know what it's like to have a business that was public, not public as in IPO, but just public knowledge of a business, and then having to state that that business is no longer a thing now. So I understand what that means, but I also understand what it means to create an image of Asa, and now looking back after a year of this creation and realizing that Asa isn't even real, and that Asa is what you created to please other people. I understand that. I don't just understand that, I overstand that. And so when you're talking about depression, it's very important that you understand, is this depression or is this the dark night of the soul? Because how you actually reconcile what steps need to take place has a lot to do with where you are at all. So that's why I don't have a shirt on, is because I understand the shaming that comes with entrepreneur depression. And I understand that the best visual representation or depiction that I can offer in this right now moment on this episode is for me not to have a shirt on. Is because that's a unbusinesslike thing that puts me exposed. This is slightly uncomfortable, but I'm doing this so that you understand that people really do care and people really will show up for you if you allow yourself to be vulnerable. Now, the thing about entrepreneurship is a couple of more things. So, for instance, I have definitely been someone to let people know that your test, your trials are for your friends. Your testimonials are for your fans. I'll say that again. Your tests are for your friends. Your testimonials are for your fans. And I still agree. I still agree. Is that a shaming thing? It's not a shaming thing. It's an understanding of the psychology of a sale or the conversation of a sales process. Because if you are having a sales conversation and your whole thing is to take somebody from here to here, and you aren't where you need to be in their minds, they feel that you can't help them. So for instance, if you are a plumber and you state, hey, I want to take you from a toilet that doesn't flush to a toilet that flushes, okay? And that's what you're going to do. But then you post and you talk about how you have all this water damage and your toilet sucks and your drains are shot and you don't know what to do. People are like, so why would I call them if their toilet's messed up when they say they're going to fix my toilet? I'm not going to do that. That's insanity. I'm not going to do that. It's the same thing. So if you are someone that is, let's say, the plumber and your toilet has gone to shit, better use of a word, and your toilet has gone to shit, something that I would offer you to do is find a group of plumbers where you get to you are now able to take your cape, your Superman cape, totally off. Totally off, so that you can still be fed and feed those people so that business transactions can take place. That's the understanding that I have of that. All right. So, again, checking in with you guys. Please share this if you feel like this is content that an entrepreneur needs, someone that may be dealing with something. Please, you can either tag them, you can share this. I'm asking you to share if you would like to be put in the Starbucks giveaway. Please, number one, share, and then number two, add a gift. So something around entrepreneurship, depression in the comments. And then we will be announcing the winner of the giveaway in our group, which is the Genius Cafe, where geniuses hang out. So if you feel like you are a genius entrepreneur on your way to becoming a genius entrepreneur, we would love to have you there. It doesn't cost anything at all. You can go to www.geniuscafe.co to get there. So I won't have to do a lot of, Facebook /group/ no. geniuscafe.co, geniuscafe.co, and that's where you'll get the information. Okay, let's talk about the statistics a little bit. There was a study by the University of California in Berkeley that said 32% of Americans deal with at least one mental issue. Okay, one. That's 32%. 32%, right? Now, what is that for entrepreneurs? Well, it comes out to 49%. 49%, 49%, I say again, 49% of entrepreneurs are dealing with at least one mental issue. Half of us are having something up here that makes us process information differently from the rest of society, okay? That's important to know. So if you're already having half of us nearly that are dealing with things and that make us process things differently, of course, it makes sense that entrepreneur depression is going to be a thing. And a lot of times, one of the reasons why that is such a thing is because we add so much shame around it. And now let's get a little bit deeper about that shame. Some of that shame is self-projected shame. Sometimes it's not at all what someone else placed on you. A lot of times it's what's going on in here, the negative dialogue about what could happen if we were to share our story. A lot of times that's the real deal. So we make that up. And so we create a story, we create a narrative that doesn't even serve us, okay? So what are some ways in which entrepreneurs can begin to eradicate, release, step through that fog of depression? One of the things that has really helped me dealing with depression as an entrepreneur is being grateful. I know that for some of you that came way out of left field, I just like way over there, how you gonna come out of depression by being grateful? Yes, it is like a total mind fuck. Oh, by the way, I cussed. So yeah, a total mind fuck. So what that looks like is you're sitting there or lying there or sometimes standing there, and you're thinking about all the things that you don't have, all the things that should have been, could have been, weren't, and you're deep and mugged down into a story of it all, like a total story of it all. And one of the things that can instantly assist you with getting out of that is, in fact, to just be grateful for something. I was watching an episode with Jada Pinkett Smith and Gabrielle Union, and Gabrielle Union was talking about how she was getting through some things in her life. She was doing her work, and someone asked her, what are you grateful for? And the best she could come up with was butter. Like, I'm grateful for butter. My thing is, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's butter, rocks, sex. I don't care if it's something very guttural or animalistic. It doesn't matter because there's no comparison. Just reach out and begin the steps to being grateful and showing gratitude, okay? Something else I'm going to ask you to do is to reach out. I'm going to ask you to reach out. It could simply be a post. We're watching this on Facebook right now. If you're watching this on another platform, put that with the platform that you're watching this on. You can make a simple post and say, I need to talk to someone right now. You don't have to put all your business out there, but if you so choose to, you can. But rather than telling your whole story and just creating voyeurs out of where you are, instead of creating voyeurs, create support. And so just state what you need. Just ask what you need. If you need a conversation, say you need a conversation. If you need somebody to come over, say you need somebody to come over. But be clear in your language about what you need in that moment. And when I'm very serious about not creating voyeurs out of what you're going through, okay? Another thing definitely is exercise. That likely sounds cliche in this moment, but there's something chemical. And I know there are people that are watching this and that are attached to me that definitely understand the actual science of things that are released, endorphins. I don't know if it's dopamine or not. But as you can see, that's not where my genius resides. But I'm sure there are people that understand the science of that. And so that's something that you can do, all right? And then one last thing is that when it comes to the level in which you feel like you can't, like you're just not able to get up on your feet, and you are at a place that suicide really is a clear option for you in that moment, then of course there is something called the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and I wrote that information down before I got on. So the number is 1-800-273-8255. Feel free, if you're watching this, to post that in the comments. So the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. No, I have never used the hotline. However, the divine has placed people in my life to serve as national prevention hotlines in my moments of fogginess and depression and that feeling of that and being within the dark night of the soul and all of that. So yes. So it's just in case you're just now coming on, we are talking about, entrepreneur depression, which is the first topic of the first episode of the Genius Entrepreneur, which is every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time right here. We're doing giveaways for this episode. And maybe another episode, we're doing Starbucks giveaways for those of you who like Starbucks. And you can join in that by 1, sharing this, and number 2, posting with a GIF. I didn't say a picture, I didn't say an emoticon, I said a GIF that has something to do with our topic for today. Well, that really is the end of episode 1 of the Genius Entrepreneur. Definitely go to the group to find out who the winner is at geniuscafe.co. I would love for you to let me know if this served you at all, and what topic would you love for me to discuss on episode number 2. So if this is Thursday, the next one is Tuesday. All right. So as always, I am Asa Leveaux. Dreams and blessings.